Should I start?
Sure, yeah, go for
All
it,
right.
and then I'll sing the intro theme.
What is our intro theme? Boom, and here we are on this week's Scrub View. I am the man, the myth, the legend, Jack Evans from the heavens, along with my co-host.
Tony.
We're working on his intro, but I hope you enjoyed the theme. And today we will be kind of bringing up random games and genres to get the thoughts from the other person on what they think of them. But before all that, I'm going to start it out. 2XKO. We finally played it, and I have to say I still have my complaints about it being such a small roster. I was incredibly surprised. I've been having a tremendous amount of fun with it.
That is what the X stands for. Fun.
Oh, I did not know that. Well, I'm going to have to check my phonetics because I didn't realize that that's how you pronounced or spelled fun. But yes, so if you haven't played 2XKO, you need to, because I have to say, the videos online don't do it justice. It animates beautifully. The art style is amazing. I'm usually against modern controls. Like, not they can exist, but I want motion inputs. It actually does have some like advanced fun combos you can do. I'm an Yasu team, and so even it being a pure modern control game with the easy inputs, it actually doesn't hurt anything about it. Like you can still get some technically advanced stuff out of it.
If you just design the game well, and I know you hate this word, but streamline it, you basically you don't typically need difficult I don't know, SNK pretzel motions to get moves done. But if you make the game work with the controls, I think you get a fun mix of fun, easy to get into, hard for people to kind of do like the more difficult things. Yeah, it's got that balance to it. And
Yeah,
as far
a
as
lot
like
of it's timing, like because there's like an Audi combo where you shoot out of a Foxfire in the air, and then you have to instantly dash and instantly like hold down the button,
mhm.
and like so, even though the actual motions aren't complicated, there's still some extremely complicated timing.
Yeah,
So it fills that void where instead of now worry about the motions, like got to worry about the speed and the what frame you hold it to and release on.
all of the things that make all the technical players great are still there. They're just not as hard to do. So it kind of increases that skill gap without kind of, dumbing everything down. So it's been doing really good. It's a lot of fun to play. I think everyone's been having fun with it, except for people who play Blitzcrank and grab Super, because you just pull them in and just super them. It's easy.
Do you know anyone that plays Blitzcrank? Blitzcrank?
Could be anybody. Could be someone in this room that just
it could be. It could
just
be.
grabs people because it's just hit the button.
Now, usually, if this was League of Legends, I would go on right now about how bad I hate Blitzcrank players, but this is actually one time. No, it's Teemo players that I hate now. You are horrible hellspawn sent directly from Malboja, from the 9th layer of Dante's Inferno to curse all of humankind, and I will put a stop to you. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Teemo.
Just grab them.
Yeah, grab them. But we got to get together on some duos with that game because I still haven't duoed.
That would be fun.
Yeah, that is the one thing. And then I'm a big fan of the sidekick fuse. I don't know which one you use.
Pretty much Juggernaut.
So you just play Blitzcrank?
Yeah.
And then, oh my goodness, you're playing a tag game single player? I have so much to show this man.
I don't, it's not that I don't enjoy, like the tag team mechanic. I just, I want to be the very best that no one ever was.
But only with Blitzcrank.
Just one at a time for now. I want to learn a character. I'll bring in another character if I can figure it out. But yeah.
Okay, now moving on I will start out with the first topic to get your opinion on it, and that would be, and I think you already know what it's going to be.
Dating sims.
Yeah, okay, let's start there. Dating sims. Okay, yeah. What's your opinion on dating sims?
Love them.
Yeah, which one's your favorite?
They're all
Yeah,
the best.
yeah,
Yeah, they're all good.
yep.
Mm.
Any specific ones that you could recommend?
I mean, that's kind of like saying which Beatles song's the best. You know, they're all good, I think.
I got one I can recommend: the KFC dating sim.
Did not know that existed.
Yeah, there's a dating sim. It might even be free to play, where you get to date the Colonel. But it's like this anime, like he's jacked. Like, oh, I'm not even joking. I'm not joking. I couldn't believe it when I saw it either.
Okay.
But yeah. So if you've ever, had a certain kind of arousal from the Colonel, you can get your rocks off with the KFC dating sim. Yes, it does exist. But okay, no, the FPS genre, specifically boomer shooters.
Boomer shooters, yeah. I just saw one yesterday that was a kind of a first person roguelike. And I cannot remember the name of it because I cannot remember things. But it was basically you just like any other kind of modern roguelike. You start out with a normal gun, you go into a room, there's a bunch of enemies. It plays a lot like Doom, where you have like a grappling hook. So when the enemies are on low like health, they turn blue, and you can use your grappling hook to like fly towards them and smash them, and then that's how you get health back. So you're kind of like running around shooting with all your weapons, and then after you clear it, then there's like stuff to pick up, and those like could be another weapon, could be like an ability that you keep for the run. And it just kind of gets crazier and crazier like that.
I gotta check that one out because no, okay, this was my genre. I don't know what game he's talking about, but I'm trying to think.
Me either. So
It sounds like when you said that you shoot out the thing and to get health back. That's
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna Google it.
Now, have you ever heard of one? I might be pronouncing it out, called Technoplasm.
I have heard of it.
What's so amazing about it is kind of I don't know if you necessarily be under the exact boomer shooter genre, but it's adjacent to it. But it's like a beat 'em up in first person. So like it actually has really good first person melee action, but like I mean you can uppercut him and do air combo style. Like,
well, you remember I was like the only fan of Breakdown on the original Xbox.
Oh, you got me into it. The only thing is I rage quit that game. That game is an absolute
and
classic.
I agree with anyone who like has criticisms about that game. Yeah, me too. Like it was not like I didn't have a lot of fun playing the game because there was only one way to play the game. Like there was kind of puzzles because you run into these enemies early on where if they touch you, you die, and you got to restart back at the checkpoint. There's only one way to do the puzzle. So unless you figure it out, you're dying every time. Like they're in a room. If you go into the wrong kind of area, they touch you, you die. You're like, okay, there's only one way to do it, and it's not an intuitive way to do it.
I don't remember that part. I remember the part that made me rage quit was there was like a room full of, I don't know if they were aliens or mutants, and they were all like kind of gray skin.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like we're talking Dark Souls before Dark Souls. Like, it was so hard that I just gave up, quit, and I will still call that game an absolute classic, despite the fact that I never actually beat it. But oh man,
it's called After Blast. Is the game
After Blast
is the game I'm thinking of. Yeah.
No, I've never even heard of it.
I think
because there's another roguelike boomer shooter that's out called Dead Zone or something, and it looks very good. But no, it wasn't one of those ones where you refill your health by executing the enemies, Doom Eternal styles. All right, so and any other thoughts on the boomer shooter genre, or FPS genre as a whole?
I want to say, I think there's a lot to like what you were just talking about with mixing first person with other things. I think like first person, like roguelikes, first person. Oblivion and like the Elder Scrolls and all of that. Like that's a first person like RPG, kind of thing. I think they can do more, especially with like Unreal, kind of like that's its thing. Like the Unreal Engine is kind of built for that, like immediately. And indie games are pushing the envelope more than anybody else is.
The creativity with indie games and like the FPS. Like I know, obviously FPS, most people think like Call of Duty or Battlefield. Although I heard the new Battlefield is good, but like they have there's so many subgenres now of the FPS that it's almost become like metal or techno. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
there's grind metal, porno metal. Like that's an actual genre. I couldn't.
I'm
Porno
gonna
core.
be up all night
Like
googling
grindcore.
KFC
Yeah, porno metal.
metal.
But yeah, but no, so there's like movement shooters where you're running off walls, but then you can add slow-mo and you got a woo shooter and then this. So there's actually has been a lot of creativity in the boomer shooter genre. Even though I know it's not your genre, I'm just gonna convert him. You will see this man. He's this will be a giant doom sign by the time I'm finished with him. This whole back wall.
Hey, I used to edit Doom and create my own Doom levels.
Yeah, yeah, I remember, but then you gave it up. He betrayed us, FPS junkies.
I didn't give it up. It turns out ADHD is a thing. And then if I don't do it for a day, it's in the ether. Like it just forget it exists. Like if I don't meet my family every day, I'm pretty sure I'd just be wandering down the street like, oh, this is cool. There's a Burger King here. It's like, you've been gone for 7 days. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I have like a family. Cool. So it wasn't that. It was just, yeah. I got to stay on track all the time.
I'm going to keep him on track. He is returning to the boomer shooter genre.
What I really need is a new piece of hardware to play them on, because 2XKO doesn't really run well on my laptop.
Oh,
yeah? And I think my laptop is like, it's getting to that point where I need to get a new one, or because I put all the settings down, like all the way down for a couple of games, and it's been like, oh, no, thank you.
Oh no, that's the worst. No, I also have a gaming laptop, and it's been running fine on that one. But the real test is going to be Ninja Gaiden 4. When that comes out, I'm like, I don't actually know if my little gaming laptop is going to be able to handle this. So I might be playing this at a good 15 FPS.
Oh, if I could get, I think 2XKO's running, it runs pretty good, but every once in a while, like it just stutters.
Yeah.
But I'm not online. So like I'm just in like trading mode. And my computer's
lag.
And my computer's like, hey, you hitting 3 buttons at a time? No thanks. So yeah, need to definitely do an upgrade here soon. But I don't mind first person shooters. I never caught on to online first person anything. Like we had fun playing Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Because it was with people I knew and I didn't take it seriously. And then people started taking it seriously. And
Man, they got so serious with it.
I was like, never mind.
And we're talking about Counter-Strike Half-Life mod with 5.2 beta when the FNP90 ruled the game with an iron fist and the models were left-handed like God intended.
Mm-hmm. I just liked it because I could have 2 guns.
Oh,
and I was like, well, this is double the damage. And they're like, no, you might as well just walk up to them and slap them in the face. It doesn't do any damage. And I'm like, but I have 2. Like, why doesn't that reasoning work? I don't know.
They need to keep it realistic. Obviously, 2 guns is going to double the damage.
Right. How many bullet holes do you have? 1? 2.
Oh, yeah.
2 is more.
Yes.
The end. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, FPSs are hopefully coming back. Borderlands is out. Borderlands 4.
Now, I've been hearing the most mixed things. Some people I've seen online have put it over big. It's like, no, this is great. And then other people have been like, but it hasn't been gameplay. It's mainly been performance issues that I heard.
Yeah, I think there's a big group out there that are kind of like, hey, we have next gen hardware. Could we not have like performance issues on next gen hardware? Even like you have like the top of the line like PC rig still having issues. I think people are kind of annoyed that that's a thing, I agree with that. I'm like, yeah, it's a thing. It's just, is it the most important thing that should make the game be viewed less? You know what I
It would
mean?
depend to me, like how bad are the? Because I mean, and actually you would know this. Like back in the day with PC gaming, anytime you got a game, you knew the first day you weren't going to be playing it. You're going to be solving bugs on having to install it because every game you'd install it and be like, your Sound Blaster 16 sound card doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I'm used to some performance issues in PC gaming, but if they're like huge, I would have to like judge the game on
Yeah,
that.
I believe because it's
But
also
if it's something stupid, because like it's supposed to run at 60 FPS and it runs at 54, like you know what I mean? I like if
yeah,
it's that low, like
yeah. It's I don't think it's like that. I think there's just compatibility issues. I think are a lot bigger issue. Um, it's just one of those things. Like they expect more from like we were talking about like AAA company.
yeah,
Like your standards should be up here, and if you are just going to patch it later, that means you knew about it beforehand. Maybe you should have like fixed it. But as far as like the Borderlands, like how the game works, the game has always been fun.
yeah. Well, I only really played 1 and 2, but I enjoyed the heck out of both of them.
Whoa, language.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know that,
So
but you know, sometimes you really got to put the point down. I enjoyed the heck out of all of them.
my freaking ears.
Yeah,
Yeah. So FPSs, thumbs up. I don't really have a favorite, but I'm gonna go with Breakdown. Uh, just out of spite, I think.
there is actually a Breakdown account on Twitter, and anytime you mention Breakdown, it'll message you. It
They
did to
did.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you got it.
Yep.
So we got to make sure that we do the hashtag Breakdown when we post this because
Yep.
yeah, I swear whoever runs that they will respond. They how old is that game now? 20 years?
I mean, it was on the original Xbox.
Yeah, that's
So yeah.
So that is some dedication. That whoever runs that Breakdown Twitter, that is dedication. All right. Now, your genre or games that you would like my opinion on.
Mm. What about? Hmm. This one's a tricky one because you haven't really played a lot of the modern ones, but RPGs.
RPGs?
Yeah.
Sometimes I usually would say FPS, specifically boomer shooter, because again, when it's FPS, I'm not really talking like Call of Duty, is my favorite. But there are times in my life where either fighting games or RPGs have taken over, and so they're an S tier genre for me. Even though I haven't been playing a lot of them recently, and anytime I do, I've been going back. Like I replayed Chrono Trigger this year or something like that. Which okay, so a little outside, still on subject. I did not remember how actually dark Chrono Trigger is,
Mm-hmm.
but like. I mean, you get moms getting paralyzed and stuff like. I was like, "Whoa!" Like, I for some
She
reason
got her
remember this
legs
being a
chopped
Disney
off.
movie game.
You know,
Yeah,
like
by her
it.
father's weird machine.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah. So, some of the biggest classics ever are RPGs, and it always goes between Doom 2 and Final Fantasy 6 for me. So, of what's my favorite game of all time is, but it was right up there as Final Fantasy 6. Obviously, Final Fantasy 7. But it was right after. It was actually kind of after Final Fantasy 9. I kind of fell off the RPG bandwagon. I'm just getting back on it now.
Hmm.
But there was an exception, which was Oblivion and New Vegas. Those are two RPGs. They're technically, I guess, first person also, so there was a little crossover that I played the ever living. Sorry, cover your ears. Heck out of,
You didn't give me time.
and
You didn't
that
give me
I think
time.
are absolute classics in every way. And like now, I just got the game, but it's on the list, but I don't know when I'll get to it. God, I can't remember the name of it. There's a game that came out, indie studio, double A studio, something like that. But it's supposed to be an Oblivion like they were inspired by Oblivion and wanted to make something like that. And all I know is when I watched this little like preview of it, there was a girl petting this big frog, and it bites her arm off, and her character loses the arm for the rest. Like, you, if you want the arm back, you have to restart it. And I was like, that is a game for me. That is a game for me, where you can lose your arm and you just have to continue and finish off the game like it. I can't remember what it was called though. So I'm a huge fan of the RPG, and RPG is kind of like first person shooters, where there's just so much you can do with the genre that, like, it really depends. But right now, I'd say the RPG I'm most into is something like I didn't actually really play Skyrim very much, but I would include that in there because I'm betting it's like it. But like an Oblivion, or if you go back before that, Morrowind, which actually even had more to, like, when I played Morrowind, there's one time, I don't know when, but I contracted the vampire disease and my character just became a vampire. And I really don't know when.
Did you
But
use any public toilets?
it must have been something like that. And then obviously New Vegas is one of those games that I played so much. I did every single like kind of ending you can do, Mr. Vegas, the Legion, the NCR. And the best one, the final one I did, is you can get the Yes Man ending, because it's the one ending no matter how bad you can mess up, Yes Man's always available to like end the game with. So I played it in what I call the Doom playthrough, in which right from the beginning there are absolutely no friendly NPCs. Everyone's considered an enemy, and you just attack everyone nonstop. And it starts out really hard, but you actually are able to acquire weapons and everything, that it actually becomes an easy playthrough.
Interesting.
Especially, which I bet you they patched it out now, but this is, if they still have it in, anyone playing New Vegas, there used to be a glitch in which you got a sniper and you got incendiary ammo, and you zoomed in on someone and then you hit the VATS, and then you canceled the VATS and zoomed out, and for some reason it would light them on fire. But it wouldn't, like, if they were a friendly NPC, they would just light on fire, but like it would just be nothing, and their life would slowly go down, and so you just kept doing that until they died, and then you looted all their stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah,
There you go.
go to that NCR Ranger station. You can pick up some quick Ranger armor, and you don't even get a bad reputation with the NCR.
Well, there you go.
That's what we're here for, to give you ways to cheese the game, because cheese is good. Embrace the queso.
Embrace the queso. Yeah. Put that on the screen right here.
Yeah, just like, okay, you would talk about RPGs. Elden Ring, my whole thing is I don't fight a boss unless there's a way to cheese them. Like, there was that Morgwog or something, I can't remember his name, but you have to like go underground. He's supposed to do this big fight or anything. There's this little bell that if you like smash it on the portal in front of him, when you actually go into the fight, it glitches out the game and he's frozen and he won't do anything. And so you just attack him until he's dead. So my brother, who's a huge, like, he loves all those Souls likes, he's sitting there fighting that guy for hours. Me, first time I met him, first time I killed him. No deaths. And it was a no hit run. It was a no hit run on that guy. Because I embraced the queso.
Because you embraced the queso.
Embrace the queso.
Of course. So what's funny is we've talked about first person shooters and then RPGs, and then we kind of went and kind of found a combination of the two.
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, that's the thing about like those two genres specifically. I feel like they're two of the genres that you can do the most with, because you can mix them, and like you can really make anything an RPG if you want, because it's a genre, like, but it doesn't have to be turn based. It doesn't have to be third person. It doesn't have, you can have an RPG that's just a text game. You know what I mean? And FPS, even obviously it has to be in first person, but there's a lot you can do with that. So I think that's why.
Yeah. So what other genres? I mean, I know that there's a lot of different types of genres, and we don't need to go into dating sims. There's already a number one, right? It's definitely the KFC one.
KFC.
But like, where do strategy games fit?
Well, that's another one that for a little while, Command and Conquer Red Alert and Red Alert 2 were some of my favorite games. So, well, are we talking about real-time strategy or more like Civilization?
So I guess
strategy games are up there, but in small amounts for me.
Yeah. Well, because I guess there's strategy games, and then there's the 4X games like Civilization
The,
and stuff like that,
yeah.
right? So,
See, I
um,
put those kind of under all like the same branch of strategy, and then
mhm,
to me, there's it kind of branches from like turn based, which is usually the 4X, but not necessarily, and then real time, which is like a Red Alert, a StarCraft.
gotcha. So, what's your favorite strategy type game? Do you prefer like the turn based, or do you like the real time?
I like real time, but that's specifically because of Red Alert 2. I had so much fun with Red Alert 2. It was another one you could not only create your own maps, they had these things called INI files. And you could go into the INI files and like that, like I would go into, you remember DOS mode?
Oh yeah,
Edit, like I can't remember the name of it, but something.ini. And it just had in like plain English, like this list of like, so Tanya uses a pistol and the pistol has this range or whatever. So you could go and you could switch Tanya to have a sniper rifle and you could make that sniper rifle have whatever damage you wanted, whatever range, like literally across an entire map. So there was I loved Red Alert 2 as a base game, but then it was one of those ones where because of kind of modding it, just like Doom 2, like or Doom and Doom 2, where when you start getting into it, where not only playing other people's mods, but you know how you get dehacked and stuff, you can mod it yourself. It really elevates the game in my eyes.
it's very fun.
So editing those INI files for Red Alert 2 made, oh man, my artillery would just shoot across mountains and everything. So Red Alert 2, but and I also do love StarCraft, even though I'm not as big of a StarCraft junkie as a lot of people. Like Brood War is my thing, and I did really like StarCraft 2, but even like I actually felt StarCraft 2 went down from Brood War in a lot of ways. But anyway, besides that would be Civilization 2, which is a turn-based. Like so, in the strategy, like my favorite game ever is a real-time strategy, Red Alert 2. But right under that is Civilization 2, and that was just because of the fun of losing your tank to a fortified phalanx that somehow was able to beat it. I'll never forgive you. No, but yeah, Civilization 2 is one of my most played games ever, so I have to put that up there. I know that the series probably gotten better, and there's a lot of like Civilization 2 was one that had nuclear Gandhi. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I found out all these years later. I thought that was just a troll, but no, it was an accident. There was
Mhm.
like some kind of integer overflow or something
Yeah.
that instead made Gandhi incredibly aggressive.
It would roll to the complete opposite side.
Yeah.
Which
So,
is they've actually kept that in future ones as like kind of a in joke.
yeah,
So
I'm
there's
glad they did because getting threatened with nuclear warfare by Gandhi is one of the best things that ever happened in video games.
I mean it's pretty like
And
I don't want
then
to say real life, but I'm pretty sure.
and you know what? If he would have had access, who knows who Gandhi would have been with nuclear weapons? Who
Right.
knows? There's actually a new one I just picked up. I haven't installed it yet, called Iron Harvest. That looks cool
Oh yeah.
because it looks like it's steampunk versus diesel punk. Like,
Yes.
yeah. So, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, like that's cool. I wish they would have like just taken all the punks and just steampunk, diesel punk, cyberpunk, have them fight it out.
Yeah.
Okay, now you real time strategy, turn based. Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt, but if we're going back to RPGs, some of the best games ever, Final Fantasy Tactics and Vandal Hearts 1 specifically, were turn based RPG strategy RPGs that are just
Very true.
chef's kiss.
And really the only reason Vandal Hearts is memorable is because when you kill a character, just an enormous amount of blood that comes out for no reason.
Oh no.
Like you could hit him with like a stick and just all of their blood comes out at once, and then you go,
Yeah.
they just kind of tip over. And so besides obviously scaring you as a child, yeah, I mean it was a pretty good game. They kept making them. They've made a few of them.
Well, I remember I think it was Vandal Hearts 2. I think it was the last one they made, no? But there was one where like I want to say, even though it sounds cool on paper, it's just weird. And correct me, I might be thinking of a different game, but
You are, yeah.
when you did your turn, they did their turn at the same time. So you had to almost guess where they were going to move. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because like if you were here, you wouldn't just go attack their turn, they attack you back. Like you'd both move at the same time, and like, oh, I wanted to attack him, and there's no one there.
Mm,
Like so, it might have been good. I just didn't get enough time. I'm almost positive that was Vandal Hearts 2.
could have been. I didn't really play Venom Hearts 2.
I interrupted. What were you saying about your strategy game?
Well, it was kind of the question I was going to ask is where do like strategy RPGs fit in the strategy games? Because I remember you playing Disgaea
We're not
way
allowed.
too much.
Yeah, Disgaea's on my. I have a list of banned games. I can't play like Diablo 2, the entire Disgaea series, Rust, because I get way too addicted to them. Where it actually like this is almost embarrassing to admit. It causes problems in my real life. Like Rust, there was one time to get revenge on these people that had raided my base. I stayed up 19 hours grinding away on that game, like in a row. So, but Disgaea is one of the greatest games ever. I even love Disgaea 2, but I had to stop playing the series after that because it literally became a bad addiction. So strategy RPGs they're way up there actually. When I think when you said Disgaea, I was like, oh god, I don't want to bring that up because it's embarrassing. Like I went like 999 hours on Disgaea. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
I remember we went up to Canada once for a show, and you brought your PS2 with you so you could play it up there.
I had to go into the item world and level up every item, even the ones I wasn't using.
Yeah. Like, why? I don't know. It's because.
Oh man, and Disgaea, you would do. Oh man, just some of the most degenerate crap. I think it was actually in Disgaea 2 I did this, but you could throw the enemies into each other, and it would like level up that enemy,
Hmm.
and then I would throw that enemy onto an EXP up square, and then kill the enemy, and you get a whole bunch of levels because it's this ultra powerful enemy or whatever. So I would do that for hours and hours on end until I got in that game. You could get characters in like thousands. Like didn't max out at 99. It was like 9,999, and so yeah, it was. Those were weird times. I don't know how I got that obsessed with something, but this guy did me in.
I mean, it's not bad, is it?
I took it to like an addiction level. I think
Okay.
it was bad.
Yeah.
I think it was bad.
Yeah. So let's see. Strategy games for me would be like, I never really got into RTSs. I was never really good enough for them. Especially StarCraft. I would say StarCraft is probably like my favorite game I can't play. I want to, but I just can't.
StarCraft has much more micromanaging than a lot of other ones.
Yeah.
Because like your individual units have skills, and then you have to use those skills. So like, if you need to see StarCraft players now and they're doing like actions per minute, I was never anywhere near that level of play. Like, very basic.
And what's great about StarCraft 2 is that they have a tutorial that teaches you like how to play on a high level. Like there's tutorials for that. It's not like, hey, here's like the move button in this attack. It's like, no. It's like right now you should be doing this. Like if you're not doing it, you need to hit that button, do it now. Like so they kind of guide you to like kind of keep up like with the high level players. I could not do that.
Yeah.
So I play custom games on StarCraft 2, which are more fun because they're usually against the computer, or they're like a tower defense game, or something else.
I don't know if you played it with me. Do you remember that game Aeon of Strife that they had?
Sounds familiar.
Well, supposedly that's what inspired like actually, where was that Warcraft? We used to play one together. It was Aeon of Strife. Supposedly that inspired like Dota and League of Legends.
Weird.
It was one of those old StarCraft or Warcraft ones we used to play. I don't remember which, but I thought it was StarCraft. I'm almost positive. And remember, you could select your hero, but it would be like a normal unit, but like a hero version of the unit, and it'd have all of its own like little stats and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly that game or that little mod thing that we used to play inspired like Dota and League of Legends.
Interesting. I'll have to remember what that is.
Remember, you had like a little teleporter square, and you'd walk into it, and then it would kill that character, or that whole bunch of little teleporter squares, and you would walk into one and it would like kill that character.
Yeah.
And then you would get in replacement like some special hero character. So one would be like you walk your little guy, your little space marine in, and then like he would die and explode, but then he would come back as like a Mutalisk, but it was a special Mutalisk with some kind of name, and all its own stats and abilities. Or if you walked into another one, it would you basically could choose your characters like that.
I'm seeing it,
But yeah, that
interesting. I like those games.
Yeah,
because they mix strategy with like other stuff.
And that was the first time I ever played a game that had a horde mode, kinda. We used to play the heck out of those ones too.
Those are fun.
Yeah, that was
just fun.
Actually, man, what am I talking about? If we're including that, StarCraft 2 was better than Brood War.
Well,
Brood War just had that crazy campaign.
Yeah, the campaigns were always pretty good in StarCraft. But let's see, if we're adding strategy RPGs into it, and this is it's gonna be a hot take, right? Final Fantasy Tactics, it turns out I was playing it wrong the whole time.
You get Orlando and you're done. That's it.
So and I didn't realize this until I downloaded, downloaded whatever, War of the Lions, the PSP version of Final Fantasy Tactics that added, it like kind of balanced it and all this stuff. That originally on the PS1 version, all the enemies scaled with Ramza.
Yeah.
I just used Ramza.
Yeah.
So like I didn't do the jobs with like the other characters. I was like, okay, he's an archer, whatever. And I just like leveled up Ramza. Like Ramza was just doing things and everyone else was my support unit. That's bad because then all the enemies are up here and my level 1 or 2 archer that's like,
miss,
and he's like, yeah, miss, or like revive, miss, and you're like, oh great. I was like, man, this game's too hard. I never beat it. Didn't even get that far into it. I just couldn't. I reached a point where I couldn't like get any further. But then a great game came out, which was Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced for the Game Boy Advance.
I don't know that one.
And it removed all of the seriousness from Final Fantasy Tactics. And it was, there's a genre of anime about this, and I can never remember the name of it. But your characters are from the real world.
Oh, isekai.
Yeah. And so they get transported into a Final Fantasy game.
Okay.
And then, like, their only way to get out is to be in a clan and be Final Fantasy guys. And it was
and mercilessly murdered as soldiers of an enemy nation.
Well, so they fixed that. Okay, so they had judges that would pop up and judge anytime there was a fight.
I am remembering this now. Okay, yeah.
There was a judge that would show up and they'd like everyone be fine after the battle, and like it was about like your clans and stuff. But basically, it was a streamlined version. It wasn't. It was actually just as complicated as like Tactics. But since it was like all cute and fun, not a lot of people enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it had
Tactics had such a serious storyline.
It did. And this was not at all.
You know what I was playing around on Final Fantasy Tactics that I never paid attention to is everyone has a zodiac sign.
Yeah.
And if you actually like attack the opposite zodiac sign or whatever, like you get different bonuses and everything depending on what your zodiac sign is and what theirs are. I never paid attention to that, not once.
It was a very important part of the game that really didn't matter too much.
Yeah,
unless you
get Orlando. Once you get Orlando,
you're fine. It was very important. There was GameFAQs had like a thing on it, like how important it was, and I never paid attention to it, and I was playing it just fine.
Yeah,
although wrong as well. So you know.
You know what interesting about Final Fantasy Tactics is, and I found the Discord, but I never actually went ahead and joined it. But it sounds really interesting. Is there some kind of, I guess it's a ROM hack or something, but I believe it is for the PSP version of it, but like the emulated version. Where they made it so you can pick your characters and you can do 1 player versus 2 player battle. So you can actually like make your own little armies and 2 people can fight. And there's actually a Final Fantasy Tactics League that you could join. And I was like, that sounds so awesome. And I joined the Discord and everything to find out, but I just never went through and actually did everything to do it.
Interesting.
But I was like, that's such an awesome idea. Like that just.
So they're all just the calculator class, and it's all random, and it's all math, and then you'll win. Because 1 out of 10, you're probably going to just destroy everybody.
Yeah, 1 out of 10?
1 out of 10. And that's pretty good odd.
10% of the time?
10% of the time it works every time.
Okay, there you go. But yeah, so man, I'm actually glad you brought up Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm gonna look to getting into that again. I just thought that'd be awesome. Although I'm hoping that the characters you can choose are just normal characters. Because if you can just choose 10 of any characters, it's just gonna be 10 Orlandos.
They probably, if I know nothing about it, but they would probably just pick a class.
Yeah,
right? And not
thinking,
like the special characters.
Like ninja versus alchemist.
Yeah. But strategy RPGs, there's one I really like, and Ogre Battle was one of my favorites on the Super Nintendo. And this new game came out, and the funny thing about it was I really wanted to talk to people about it, but the name of the game is so ridiculous that they would stop listening instantly.
I'm right here. I love ridiculousness.
Okay, so it's basically like it mixes Final Fantasy 12's like Gambit system, and Ogre Battle. So the battles play out themselves, but you can kind of plan out what your characters do.
Is this the Vanillaware game?
Yeah.
Unicorn Overlord.
I cannot say that name.
100% agree. I 100% agree. I'm like, oh my God.
There's this new game, guys. What's it called? Unicorn Overlord. They're like hard pack.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh my God. I 100% agree. I have it on my wish list. I didn't buy it. And part of the reason is the name. It's one of the most embarrassing names to not be like Breasticle Island, you know what I mean? Like not to have some kind of sexual innuendo or something, but just as a normal kind of name, it's embarrassing. I was like, it's almost like Overlord. I don't want to be overlorded by a unicorn.
Yeah, it was like, when people bring up Lord of the Rings and people are like, oh, you're one of those. Like, got it. I'm like, no, it's Unicorn Overlord. Like, it's a really fun game. It's dark, man. It's really dark. And the story is kind of dark, and it's just like, but it's called Unicorn Overlord. So no one, like, I can't, there's nothing I could do. I could be like, the game just gives you money in real life. It just puts money in your bank account. People are like, I don't want to hear anymore about Unicorn Overlord. But I really like it. I told one of our mutual friends that if I were to play it now, I would not be able to do anything else because that's all I would be doing.
Yeah.
And so they bought it for me, and I did. That's all I did until my battery died on my Switch.
Yeah,
so,
it looks really good. I'm a huge fan of Vanillaware's art style, like dating all the way back from like Odin Sphere, and even before that, maybe what was that other one they made? Princess something, wasn't it? But yeah, I'm definitely going to try that game out because despite the name, just
Unicorn Overlord. It's really good though.
I'm going to call it something else though. If anyone were to come in and be like, what are you playing? It's going to be like Super Satan Devil Fighter.
It's like tough bro man.
Tough bro man. Yeah. There we go. We're playing Tough Bro Man.
Yep.
You know how it goes. Oozing machismo in this game.
It's just guns. Tough guns. Tough guns, man. 2.
But yeah, and I saw what I liked is it had some interesting character classes because I did look up, because when I was thinking on getting it, I did look up the character classes, and everything is just drawn so well. It seems really interesting and well made. So I do want to try out Tough Guy Man Bro.
Tough Guy Man Bro. Unicorn Overlord. He's got a ring that has a unicorn on it. So it stops.
Yeah. Is that why they call it Unicorn Overlord? Where does the unicorn come from? Because I had looked up the units. I didn't see any unicorn.
No. So there's like there's different countries, and they have different like animals that are, everything. and the unicorn is like your kingdom, and the basically what's happening is like there's a guy who took over the other kingdoms, and it they killed the queen, which was your mom. Spoilers, happens in the first like 20 minutes. They kill your mom and you were a child when that happened, and the queen gave like the knight that raised you the ring
Okay,
that was the
of
unicorn.
royalty.
Yeah, so you were always going to be like kind of the person who saves the world kind of thing. But the bad guy in the game is using magic that can control other people, but the ring makes people immune to it. So what you're doing is you're liberating all the other places that have been taken over, because your unicorn ring is fighting the bad magic. Never mind. I can't. I it's but like it's like, you know, it's pulling it. They're like kind of like mind controlled, and then like when you interact with them, it like snaps them out of it, and they don't remember anything that happened, and they're like, "What have I been doing?" You know, it's like, well, now you're on our side, and they're like, "Okay, I'm wearing purple now," and then because bad guys are red, and
Okay,
yours
you're
is purple, so now they're wearing purple.
nice.
So, and yeah, it's a good storyline. Like it's kind of funny. It's the storyline's kind of semi-serious, even though I just told you I'm wearing a unicorn ring.
You know, Vanillaware, for the sequel, can we make not a unicorn ring? Can be like a flaming sword that drips blood or something. Because
No,
this unicorn thing isn't working.
no, double unicorn, two-headed unicorn with wings, like a Pegasus.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, a Pegasus corn.
yeah, Pegacorn.
Pegacorn.
Yeah, two heads though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what other genres? I mean, the big one, I guess, fighting games a genre, right?
Yeah, we've gone quite over the fighting games. You
Yeah.
know, my favorites are generally anime fighters, but
Mm.
I've been 2XKO is a weird one. It's anime fighter ish, but like it's not that full. Like I wouldn't even say it has like the craziness of like a Strive. You know, there's not. Well, Audi can, but like most people can't air dash and everything. So, but generally, when it comes to fighters, I really like the anime fighters, except for they don't have big player bases, and I can only get the crap kicked out of me for about 100 hours before I put them away.
Yeah.
And but and then I'm loving Street Fighter 6 again. Like when I
Mhm.
first got it, I was really liking it, and then you were playing it with, oh, you were the modern Zangief. Oh, I
You just
forgot.
have to hit the
I
button,
forgot.
and
You're.
he does it.
Why did we start this podcast together? He is the worst kind of person on the planet Earth. Okay, there is no one. Okay, there are serial killers out there that are more redeemable than a modern Zangief player. But anyway, no, I went back to it. So I have to say that, and like, I'm really enjoying Street Fighter again, even though it doesn't have the anime craziness and everything.
Yeah.
And then, but even above Street Fighter 6, I'm actually, of course, it's kind of, I guess, the honeymoon phase. I'm liking 2XKO even better. I'm having more fun with that than Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, Turksky's it's gonna be a lot of fun because they said that it's gonna be like a 10-year kind of, it's not something that's gonna go away, right? So they're just gonna keep expanding it, keep making it better. It's a live service,
Yeah.
pretty much. So
Well, that's what they did with LoL. Like, at the graphics of LoL, they used to be a lot worse, and then they just like updated everything from the Summoner's Rift, the levels to all the character models and everything. So if it survives, which it looks like it will, I think it's doing good. I don't know, because not on Steam, you can't check Steam charts or nothing.
it's not on Steam.
No,
Hmm.
you have to get Riot's own personal launcher. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's, but I mean, the lobbies always seem full.
Yeah, everyone seems to be having fun with it, and I
Yeah.
think that's what keeps people.
Coming
People are
back.
gonna play because it looks fun.
And it is very casual friendly and free to play. So anyway, but if it does survive, which I think it will, they can always just do that what they did to League. Like, oh, this game's looking outdated. Boom, new character model. Like they don't have to release a whole new thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that can work because I think the game will be much better in 2 to 3 years when the dang roster is bigger. That is my one. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. But I was right about the roster. It really, you start to do get character fatigue when you got these blitz cranks coming up, playing their juggernaut fuse, thinking they're all slick with their command grabs into supers, just disgusting
Just
people.
don't get hit. Like, just get good.
No,
Okay.
this is one guy I can't complain about. Actually, the Blitzcrank, I actually think he's very underpowered. I don't know about high level, but at low level player, I actually feel like he gets whooped on. It's Timo that gives me the problem. Timo and Ilawa, whatever her name is.
Ilawi, yeah.
Ilawi, yeah.
And I think that is good because that's his weakness, right? Like, he's very straightforward, and then, oh look, I have another character, and then that kind of like supplements like his weaknesses, right?
Yeah.
I've always been a Tekken guy,
Yes.
so Tekken's kind of like I understand Tekken.
Okay. Well, I know we're all just on 2XKO, but I have been watching so many Tekken videos recently where it seems like the fan base is just in an uproar like of hate for Tekken 8. And how do you feel about it?
They just got to get good. Like,
Get good.
just get good.
Oh, you're
like,
giving the point. I'd say.
well, no, it's
Well, specifically, I don't think it's that their complaint isn't really about like difficulty or something. It's that it seems like what they're claiming is that they've specifically wrecked the pacing of the game
Mhm.
because now you just like heat right in, and whoever's not in heat just has to sit and like block, and like it's not that back and forth movement based. Like,
Yeah. So there was a time, and I want to say it's Tekken 6, right? I wasn't the biggest fan of Tekken 6. I don't think it changed enough from 5 as far as like progressing like how Tekken was played, but it was better than 5, right?
Tekken 5 is the peak of Tekken.
Tekken
this
5
man
is like the
lying.
peak, and then like Tekken 6 kind of was like here, right? It was like, well, let's just make Tekken 5 a little bit better. And they did, right? The story doesn't make any sense, but I stopped caring about that a while ago.
Is that the one where Jin's a bad guy?
They're just taking over the world and like fighting like wars with countries just so he can not be the devil anymore.
Okay,
and I was like, oh, that's all you have to do is start at like World War III, basically. That's cool. Or just figure it out on your own and not start a
and
war.
not cause the apocalypse.
Right.
Oh,
and
on.
So but yeah, with this release of Tekken 8 and this new character that they showed off at Evo France.
Miarizo?
Yeah. That idea of Tekken being like a pacing game, like martial arts versus martial arts, that's just gone now. That's not the game anymore. That Tekken does not exist. Now it's just a straightforward action game with Tekken characters in it.
Okay.
And there's no.
Now, do you like this, Tar?
I like the idea of it, but as soon as I saw like Anna Williams use the bazooka in like her regular combos, I was like, all right, so it's over. Like, it's not like a martial arts game anymore, right? And then the new guy that just uses a gun and a sword, I was like, okay, so we're just not.
He looks cool as hell, though.
He does look cool, but is that Tekken? Like, not really. You know, Bruce is like kickboxing, right?
Yeah.
What does he got? Gun and a sword. Okay, like, all right. Well, now you're getting wacky, you know, with like Killer Instinct type characters. Like, who are you? I'm a ninja monk. Who are you? I'm a dinosaur. And it's like, why are they fighting? Like, what's the point? Like, what is going on? Like, who are you? I'm a boxer. Who are you? A robot that can teleport and shoot lasers, and I turn in my head into a machine gun. Like, there becomes a point where like the original idea just kind of does not exist anymore. And then this new character is just Ogre. So she's like, the spirit of Ogre is now in her. And so she just has like Ogre powers.
Okay, I know. I saw the trailer. Her and Zafina.
Yeah,
and they were like going at it with that. I didn't realize that was the ogre.
Yes,
power.
That's Ogre, and Azazel was like the big Tekken 6 thing because he was like strong enough to like kill like the devil gene that Jin has and whatever. And so she has his powers, Azazel's powers. That's why she's got like Azazel's arm, and then she's got Ogre powers, and she's like this cute little like fun girl.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, so it's over. Like, there's that Tekken that I grew up playing is now done. Now it's just an action game that it has Tekken characters in it.
Now I'm a bit confused because when I first said it, it seemed like you were defending Tekken 8, but now it seems like you're kind of going after it. Or you're just accepting it's not.
I'm accepting the fact that that is what I don't like about Tekken 8. I do not like the fact that it is not a martial arts game anymore.
Yeah, because it used to be all about like Jeet Kune Do versus Taekwondo.
Right.
Like,
and it was
mean, you saw Yoshimitsu and like Jack and stuff, but like for the most part, it was actually very like my style is better than your style.
And I got that part, you know what I mean? Like the moves were like, oh, a high kick, and he's got this and this. And then like it slowly just became like over the top. Like, but like they still kept it kind of I can't remember the term, but there's a term for like how real, like Street Fighter, like you just accept that Dawson can blow fire.
Yeah.
Like that's not like crazy. You accept that Guile can jump, you know, like
suspension of disbelief.
Yeah. Like it balances that.
Yeah.
Now it just doesn't matter. You just can do whatever you want. And that's my dislike.
Okay. But the gameplay, you're not.
The game is, it shouldn't have been Tekken 8. This should have been like a whole different game because it plays way different. And I think a lot of the older guard of like the Tekken guys, just hate it. Just absolutely hate it.
It definitely seems that way.
And like, there's nothing you can, like, you have people that want to play Tekken, but that idea that I want to play Tekken is not Tekken 8 at all. That's not what they have built. You cannot play Tekken anymore. Like, you have to play Tekken 8 or go back to 6 or 7. That's just kind of how it is. And the defensive options were removed because they focus on offense. And some people don't like that. And it's just like, well, like they're not going back on it. Like the developers, they're not going back at all. They're going to push it forward more. And I miss Tekken, you know?
Yeah, I can understand.
I miss it. But Armor King looks awesome. So I'm like,
well, Armor King is some move. Again, I haven't played Tekken. I don't know how we keep talking about Tekken 8 week after week, and somehow I've avoided playing it. But there was some move that someone saw in an Armor King trailer or something like that, and it has sent the Tekken community into an uproar. And I don't know what it is, but it has some kind of property to it or something. And they're like, no, they said they were going to get rid of this in season 2. They lied. Da, 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 da.
Oh, weird.
But, yeah.
I can't. Is it like a throw,
or
is it? Because I know. Well, he's a stance character, and people hate Tekken stance characters.
Lei Wulong or
Lei's not even. I don't think Lei's in it.
No, I don't think Lei is. I actually looked at the character roster, and no, Lei's not in it.
Well, he's got like, so in Tekken 6, I think he had a like a punch counter stance, right? He would kind of duck down a little bit. And if they punched, he turned it into I think he just did the crippler crossface. Like you'd counter it, you know?
Oh, what?
So, cool. Because they wanted to kind of differentiate like King and Armor King. So this new Armor King is more of like a striker, grappler kind of thing. And King's more like the wrestler, you know? So he's got that again, but now it like auto parries.
Oh, okay,
so he'll be like doing a string, stop. And then if you jab him, you just got auto like counter.
Oh, okay.
And he can stop his combos and then spit mist. And then like, so if you counter the wrong way, like the mist gets you, and then he's just like, you know, he can also, it used to be like a special thing that no one could ever do because it was out of his, you know, when you did like your key charge, like you hit all the buttons together, which they took out of 8.
Oh, the one, and it turns the next hit into a counter hit,
yeah,
right?
It's gone now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he could do his old Tekken Tag uppercut, which was a mid, which everybody hated in Tekken Tag. But in this one, it's like he spits fire on his hand, and now his hand has like different properties. And so now he can counter like whatever you just did. Like he'll do a string, stop, stun you, you crumple, he'll spit on his hand, do the uppercut, and now the crumple is now a launcher. And I think you will hate that
Oh,
because
okay.
like it's fine getting like stunned,
Yeah.
but then you're stunned and now you're eating a launcher as well.
See, man, but that's one I think a big difference between like hardcore fighting game fans and casual ones is like that's probably extremely annoying to play against at the high level. That sounds awesome to me. I'm like,
Right.
what? You punch him, you get a burning hand, you uppercut him. Oh, let's go, bro! Like,
And
so
and I'm with you on that. I'm 100% with you. But it's not Tekken, right? That's
yeah,
not like
yeah.
how we've grown
That's
up. And so,
all the complaints I've heard. It's not Tekken anymore.
yeah,
Like,
and I think that they're not going back on it. So this is what we got. So if you want to get into Tekken, you got to start playing Tekken 8.
we got to get together and we got to play Tekken 8, okay?
Yeah.
Just old days, and I'll just pretend it's Tekken 5 and play it like that. Screw this.
You will not win. Like you can't you can't play that way
Yeah.
anymore. Like it just doesn't work that way anymore, unfortunately.
That's just so weird to me to hear because I like out of every fighting game, like Tekken to me has like the strongest identity. So you know what I mean? Like, because even Street Fighter 2 to Street Fighter 3 to 4 to like, it's always Street Fighter, but they're like Tekken's not really. You know what I mean? Ever since 3, like, well, I guess 4 was way different, but like 5, I played a little bit of 6. It wasn't that different.
Mhm.
Like just basically like move properties would change and maybe that what with the bounding or whatever it was
Yeah,
called, like they'd add something like that. So to hear that, like, oh no, you can't play it like you play Tekken 5, like that's just strange to me.
it is. But guess who's playing a lot of Tekken? A whole bunch of new players. That
Yeah.
means more monies, which means it's a success.
Now, do you think Tekken 8 will end up more popular than 7 was?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
7 sold 12 million.
It will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
wow, okay.
yeah. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole with Tekken, but yes, I think that Tekken 8, they're just going to keep adding new characters. I think that the next season, um, hopefully they get a different guest character because guest characters sell well.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I haven't even played Final Fantasy 16, but I saw that Cliff guest character, and I'm like,
Live.
Clive, sorry, and I was like, dude, he just looks awesome. Like
Yeah.
But man, the only thing about some of these guest characters is they so don't. They like him and Noctis. I know they're obviously from Final Fantasy, but they just stand like even Negan didn't stand out as much as Noctis and Clive did, and
Yeah.
it's just
Like,
but
oh, what about you? Well, I'm a black belt in karate. What are you? Well, I'm the prince of this country. Also, my brother is the phoenix. So also I have magic powers. So, and this sword. You see my cool sword and like all my, yeah. It's like, I can do this. It's like, well, I got a sword. So,
well,
but
I actually think maybe Noctis was kind of the beginning of a big change in Tekken because, well, there was a Kuma in that game and the vampire girl, but like, man, he was the first character I remember where he's like having like, because even Yoshimitsu had some crazy moves, but he's like full screen teleport, sword throws, like.
yeah,
So I almost feel like maybe Noctis is patient zero for Tekken. I don't want to say going off the rails. Some people maybe like the new style, but of changing course.
yeah, it's just for me. I really enjoy what they are doing with like style wise. I really like that they're making it something that is completely different than than everything else. Right? There's not a fighting game that looks like Tekken.
Oh, so from a visual standpoint.
Visual standpoint, it does not even look like the same thing, right? And you've got all these crazy characters doing crazy things, and it's like that just sounds fun. But then personally, I feel like all of the old Tekken guard are just like the old man yells at cloud kind of thing, like, oh, y'all when I was a kid, I couldn't do, all this other stuff. And I think they lost a lot of the people in their hearts because
Hey,
it's not the same anymore,
now, would you prefer it to be more like a Tekken 5, 6, 7, whatever, or do you think that this is going to end up a good way to go with the series?
Well, so I don't think it's a bad way to go. I just think that I don't
But
want
for
to,
you personally,
me personally,
It went Tekken 5, peak Tekken, peak Tekken. Now I'm not even talking about Dark Resurrection. I'm talking about vanilla Tekken 5 when Christy Montiero's forward 3-4 did not need to have a counter hit in order to juggle.
Yes, specifically that was my issue with that game.
Yeah.
No, I really liked Tekken 4 and what they were trying to do like that way, which is why I'm kind of excited for Virtua Fighter 6
Yeah.
because I think that'll fill that role for me.
That is actually one weird thing about you. You have always been a Tekken 4 supporter. Like,
There's only like two of us.
yeah, there
And
is
I
only two
think
of
one
us.
of them was like one of the developers.
Yeah.
Other than that,
You've always put over Tekken 4. See, I liked it because there were certain things like where they had asymmetrical levels and stuff. Like, I like that stuff. Like, I think that's cool. But I know that most people despise that. You
Yep.
remember in the arcade, if you're on 2-player side on the underground parking garage level,
Oh yeah.
oh man, people would be so mad. Like, no, you got to let me.
Because you didn't start in the same spot.
No,
So
no.
round 2, you'd be like over here, and you're like, uh-oh, like I'm next to like 3 walls and a column, and it's like, ooh, that sucks to be you. But yeah. Now is one thing that is going back to the genres,
Yes.
horror.
I'm a huge horror genre fan, but I actually I don't mind like action horror because a lot of people seem to diss. I didn't play 6, but a lot of people diss Resident Evil 5 for
Yeah.
going too actiony. I really enjoyed Resident Evil 5, but honestly, it's more of an action game than a horror game, so I can understand it. But like right now, well, before the Ninja Gaiden marathon began, I was just playing this game Ad Infinitum. That's kind of more like the modern version of a point and click adventure, kind of like it's. I don't want to call it a walking simulator because it's more than that. But you kind of do little things and then you watch a like a cutscene kind of. And that is my one thing about a lot of horror games these days is I feel like pure horror is a lot of times it is walking simulator ish until like, some big jump scare or something happens and there's less gameplay than there used to be. So I
And
like it. Like I like this Ad Infinitum game because it's in World War One, in the trenches of World War One, which is legitimately one of my biggest fears. Like after seeing this documentary on World War One trenches, I'm like, screw Jason or Chucky. That is the worst. That is the worst. The trenches of World War One. But that is one thing is like I feel like horror games these days have gone a little bit too cinematic and not enough gameplay wise. Like
there's you are aware of like the whole PT thing, right?
I am, yes.
Okay. So I think that resonated with a lot of people that you could make
100%, yeah.
you could make something simple that made you scared to play a demo, right? And they were like, I like this. Let's try to capture that. And there's been a lot of horror videos that have been popping up on my YouTube of like horror games. Now they are kind of the same thing, right? It's sort of they're more atmospheric.
Yeah.
The ones that I've been seeing lately are ones that are like you're in an apartment and like the whole game takes place like in your apartment and you've got to like find a way to either like get out of the apartment or find out what's going on or something like that. And they do a really good job of creating that tense atmosphere because you're claustrophobic almost, right? I like that. But you can't, well, I shouldn't say you can't. There's once you start putting the action above the immersion, then it sort of doesn't you lose the horror aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
And then it becomes
Resident
like
Evil 5 did do that.
yeah, it's like, oh well, I'm not scared anymore. Now I'm more it takes away from it a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's a I don't know, a balance thing where you want to have if you want to make action parts, then you can't take away from like the horror part.
Well, have you ever played this game called what was it called? Power Drill Massacre.
No.
There's this I'm on what
it's one guy and he has this studio, and you can actually just subscribe to his Patreon and you can get access to all his games. But he specifically makes PS1 like graphical level, like that's the level, like he purposely makes them look PS1 because PS1 kind of had was in the uncanny valley, like looked a little bit weird.
Yep.
So he makes horror games based on that style. But he did this one called Power Drill Massacre, and it is maybe the scariest game I've ever played. But the action is that I actually went and looked up how it worked, because the first time I played it, I was wandering all through this like abandoned building,
Mm-hmm.
and the killer never came out for like 5 minutes. And then the second time I played before he got me, the second time it was like 30 seconds. And you go into this building and you have to like find these keys, unlock and all this. But the killer is actually put on a different timer. So you never actually know when he's going to come out. And then when he does come out, the action is only you running from him, like, and having to find places to hide, get away until he goes away. So I think that you can have action sequences in horror games, and if you don't want to lose the thing, you can't make the character too powerful. Because if I could turn around in Power Drill Massacre and like have a fist fight with the killer, it'd be completely differently. But when you're running and you're going through hallways and like just trying to dodge him, and he's like, you can hear the power drill like right behind you, like it's as intense as any action sequence you can possibly have in a video game, but it keeps that horror and that like, and it's terrifying, truthfully, this game. Like, and he's making this like pig sound when he's chasing after you. Like, so I think that you can do action sequences in horror games without like, because, like I said, Resident Evil 5, even though I am putting it over, it did lose that because like, like I have so much ammo and like I'm the secret agent or whatever. I can just blow away these zombies. It did lose that horror. So I think that the secret is action to horror games that don't want to like lose that immersion. Like you said, action sequences where you're not powerful, like you are running, you are hiding, you are doing this or that or the next thing. So I think you can get good action gameplay sequences in a horror game without losing the immersion.
Mm-hmm.
Power Drill Massacre.
Power Drill Massacre.
Man, no, but his games, there's so many good ones that he makes, but they're very short, all of them. But they're some of the creepiest ones. Some of them you even play as the killer, and you gotta like go around and like kill random people on Christmas, and then feed their bodies into this big Cthulhu pit and stuff. Like, what is the name of it? I can't remember the name of the studio.
Unicorn Overlord.
It's not anything to do with Unicorn.
That's what it's called.
But yeah, if you subscribe to his Patreon, you just have access to all his games. So like,
That's kinda
technically
cool.
for like $5, if you wanted to, you could like play anything he's ever made. But and he's made a lot of them. But that guy, I think, has really experimented with the horror genre. And again, even though it's all PS1 graphics, so it doesn't look like anything impressive, but I think he's come across a lot of gameplay ideas that could be used in like something broader. Because like I said, all of his, like, if you know what you're doing, you can beat Power Drill Massacre in 20 minutes or something like that. So, but he really does that, like these, I almost want to call them experimental horror games that are really good, that they're scary, but they don't break the immersion. They don't make you feel too powerful.
And that's kind of what you want. You want a good experience, right? And if he's making those experiences and having them condensed that way, I mean, that's kind of perfect, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is his are condensed, but I think a lot of the ideas that he's experimented with could be made into bigger games. Like, because I mean, it would need to be a little bit more advanced, but like, I really think that the Power Drill Massacre idea could be made into like a bigger game where it's like a Resident Evil 2, but instead of like tank controls and you like having to like be low on ammo or whatever, and that's kind of where the tension comes from, is you can't control your character very well and you don't have very many resources, is to just where like it almost like parkour style, like, no, the terror comes from once something shows up, like you gotta run, and you can make the actual running away from them an action sequence. Like, maybe you don't need to get full Ninja Gaiden, like parkour maybe a bit, but like,
no, go for it. No, we want ninjas.
Well,
ninjas make the games better. Did you ever play one of my favorite horror games? Was on the Super Nintendo, and it was called Clock Tower. Did you ever play
I
Clock Tower?
remember Clock Tower, but everyone always remembers the 3D version of Clock Tower.
Yeah,
No, there was a 2D sprite Clock Tower that was scary as hell.
yeah, it was really weird because I accidentally beat it, and I did not know there were multiple endings. So I hid from the dude with the scissors. Like I hid in a room, I found the car key, opened up the garage, and then escaped. And I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't know there were multiple endings.
Oh,
so I was
okay.
just like, okay, well, I figured out how to get out. I guess
There
the
you go.
game's over. It's 15 minutes long. And then there's like, oh no, like there's more story to uncover. There's different endings. They kind of every ending just kind of expands on the lore. So you could, I guess, but getting like the hardest not the hardest ending, but like the true ending or whatever,
Yeah.
that kind of explained like all the weird lore and creepiness of it. And I was all for it.
I remember I didn't play that game, but I just remember seeing it at your house. Like it was the first one. And then all these years later, anytime you hear about Clock Tower, it's like the 3D one. And I'm like,
Yeah, that one wasn't as creepy.
yeah, when if you say Clock Tower to me, I immediately think of that 2D one.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. And I guess like as far as like horror games, Alan Wake. I don't know if that counts though, because it's not really a horror game.
it's more of a suspense. I know that's kind of a thin line, but
Yeah, I loved the story of Alan Wake, and then PlayStation's got Alan Wake 2 on it, part of the PlayStation Plus, I think.
you
So
know
I
what
was
I
like,
would like to see come back is a genre of horror that was basically only done once. And it's the best horror game of all time.
what is the best horror game of all time?
Maniac Mansion. No, it wasn't really a horror game, but it kind of was.
Kind of was, yeah.
But do you remember you selected certain characters and they all had certain skills?
Hmm.
And then you had to figure out like there's like a surfer dude, a nerd, and someone else, and like the nerd could hack codes, the surfer guy could surf inside the mansion. I don't know.
Come on.
But you had to figure
was
out with
Jamaican.
with your selection of characters, like how to get down to the basement and solve the mystery and everything.
Yeah.
And so it was like this weird puzzle game because the puzzle changed every time depending on which characters you selected.
Mhm.
So like you could beat the game with any combination of any of the characters, but you'd have to do it differently based on who you chose. And I always thought that was really creative and interesting.
Yeah.
And for you and you at home, Puppet Combo. That's the name of the studio, but it's one guy and he's the one that makes those crazy experimental like horror games.
Mm. Have you seen Ill?
No.
There was a few years ago, this guy put up a tech demo of online. Like I think it was either Twitter or YouTube I saw it on, right? And this dude, it was just a guy with a shotgun, and there was a monster that would, come towards you, and then you would shoot at the monster, and like it would dismember, right? But it wouldn't. It would do it realistically. So like if you shot him
Seeing like Dead Space almost?
so if you shot him here,
Yeah.
his arm would dangle, and like but
Oh,
if you shot him like here, it would like come off.
okay.
And it was like really specific on like how you would take down the enemies, and it just looked really cool because you couldn't just shoot a guy or like shoot the monster and it would just recoil the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
it was really cool. Like they had him like shoot like at like his fingers off, and he still had like 2 left, and he would still like try to get you and all that stuff. But he made like a little like 2-room demo, and it was like super creepy because like the monster, like I don't know how you killed it actually, but like if you shot it in the head, it wouldn't kill it. It's like head would come off and like stay attached almost, and like the eye would fall off. And that was like the big focus was like, hey, the dismembering thing it's not really important, but here's all the detail he put into like all the character models and everything. And like the walls were like infected and like things would like try to like come out of the wall, but it was um like you could see like the handprint like come out of the wall, but it was like trying to push through, and there was like a little mouse hole like in the floor, and then like things like try to grab you, out of it. And then like you just walked outside, and like that was the whole demo that he had, right? And then
Beat it.
yeah, it was like cool, like it was like a tech demo that he did.
Yeah.
And then like a year ago, it popped up again, and I guess he got hired, and they were just like, make this a full game.
Oh, is it still called Ill?
It's still called Ill. And I was watching like the trailer for it, and I was just like, it's that guy I saw. Like that was just like randomly, like he was a student, like made a tech demo, and I was like, they turned it into a whole game. I was like, this is cool.
I'll have to
And
check
then
it out.
it just looks really gross, and that's like the best compliment I can give it. There's a thing in Unreal that this random guy figured out, and it was, I don't know why more people don't do it, but he was like, you know how in first person shooters, any first person game, like the camera's like right here,
Yeah.
right? He's like, if you move it 5 centimeters forward, now it looks like VR. Like now you like everything for some weird reason, if the camera is just moved forward just a little bit, it like your arms are like further back on the character model, but everything looks better just because it now feels like you're in that room. And all he had to do was just move the camera forward, like whatever the in-game or the in-engine like movement is.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's weird. It's kind of like when you like, those like illusion puzzles, and it's like, oh, can you see this
cross
image?
your eyes and it comes out?
And then like now you can always see it. And so like you don't remember what it was like before. You're like, oh, I can't remember now. Now I only see like the puzzle like solved. And I was like, it's weird. You feel differently watching the video.
Yeah.
And I think that guy did that as well. It shouldn't change much, but it does.
I'm gonna
Just
have to check it
moving
out.
moving the camera forward a little bit, because like most first person shooters, like your hands are like here, right?
Yeah.
And then now they're back here, and so now you feel like it's actually like normal. Like if you had your arm out, instead of it being like this, it's actually almost your arm length. So VR games would feel a little bit more impactful, because now you're like, VR games are pretty good, but now they're getting a little too real, And I was like, that's such a weird thing just to change. And a lot of first person games, if they just did that, their games would feel better. It's a weird thing.
Yeah,
but I love it.
I got to look into it, because I've never even heard, because it seems counterintuitive. I think if anything, you'd want to like move it back, almost, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like it doesn't seem like moving the camera forward would make it.
I didn't think it would. It was like,
it
was one of those like, like use this one trick to make your games like look better. And the guy had like 8 views, right? And so I was like, I'll look at it, And then I was like, oh no, like this is weird now. Like I'm just like full screen watching the video, and he's like, and this is it with the new camera. And I'm like, that's weird. That's very weird. I shouldn't be able to feel the difference like through a screen.
You've got me super interested. I'll definitely be looking that up.
Look it up.
But what you were talking about with like how like you hit him here and like the flesh comes off, but his arm's still dangling. Or if you hit him on the joint, the arm comes off. That's what I was expecting out of Unreal 5 engine games, is stuff like that. Because I think that's kind of the future.
You can do that.
Well, but I don't say everyone, but like, I think there's just too much of like polygon counts or whatever. I don't know the technical terms. And people are like forgetting like stuff like that needs to start coming out, because that can affect gameplay in so many ways. You know what I mean? Like just the stuff you can do with that kind of like realistic body damage. And I always felt like that gaming was kind of going that way, like way back in like the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always surprised that's one thing. Actually, I know this is kind of off subject. We're talking about genres and stuff, but I always thought gaming AI was going to get way better, because I don't know if you remember, but like Half-Life, the special soldiers that come down,
Mhm.
they weren't just like, oh, I'm going to run and shoot it. Like they felt like the AI felt really good. And then like Fear, I don't know if you ever played Fear. That's a horror first person shooter. It's an action horror game, but I still love it. But the AI in that is like unbeaten in any like first person, I don't say game, but any first person shooter. And then it ended. Like everything just became come straight forward, bullet sponge. You know what I mean? Which in a zombie game is fine, but I don't know why AI never, like the early 2000s was the peak of AI for video games.
Well, it was, and it was primarily due to artistic visions instead of, hey, what can make money, right? That is why I think like the PS2 era, like PS2 era, they had there's so many weird games that popped up on the PS2, right? Weird games. Fantavision shouldn't be a game, right? But it is,
Yeah.
you know? And it was just because like, hey, what can we do?
And wasn't that the LSD Dream Simulator was on PS, or was that PS1?
Might have been PS1.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
it's just like people had ideas for games or
Yeah.
like ideas basically. And at some point, the ideas lost. And then they were just like, how can we make money? It sold well. And I'm like, yeah, it sold well because it was new, original. People liked it. It resonated.
I feel like now we're going back to last episode, but when it goes AAA, they forgot that originality is the most marketable thing. Like it really is. Like I know it. Well, I don't want to say that because we have these Call of Duties and everything that come out yearly and still sell, but originality and unique value are very high up there when it comes to what is marketable, I think. But anyway, so AI, and then the other one is like animations and like body damage. Because if you remember, for a little while, there was even like a fighting game, but there was stuff where like someone would get shot. Like man, even if we're going back in '64, like James Bond 007, like they get shot, like the bullet hole would stay, or like the texture would change or something, and like that
Just
whole
those little details.
yeah, that all got lost because like games don't really do that. Like, I mean, maybe they put like a red patch on the guy or something, but it's not where like it's changing something about the model itself, and certainly not the behavior like of the.
It's doable with scope. That's pretty much it. Like you can invest time, and people say it costs too much, but they what they mean is that there is a timetable, and it takes too much time to do it, so they just don't, right? But what I dislike about that is you lose that kind of feeling, right? And I think there's a lot of games out there that kind of, like, okay, so Street Fighter 6, not when you play online, but if you're just playing like one player by yourself, it has battle damage. Like, so like bruises show up on the characters' faces, like cuts, like all that stuff. Don't know why they took it out of like versus mode, right? I'm thinking because they want esports and they don't want the characters looking all banged up and whatever. But that's a cool.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, though. Is that things like battle, like, but they had that back in like you said, the PlayStation 2 days. So it seems like it should be more advanced now. Where like, okay, you take a jab, you get a black eye. If it's a fierce, your eye pops out of your head. No,
your face just explodes.
And now you would definitely be the guy to know this better than me, but a lot of they've kind of consolidated engines a little bit. Like everyone's always used Unity or Unreal 5 or something. So it seems like, can't there just be someone out there that's like, hey, for the Unreal 5 engine, I made this battle damage program or whatever, and then people can just license that from them and like put it in their own game, where like you just take his code and like, okay, now when you get shot in the arm, it can change the texture or something.
100%.
See, I think that's what we need. We need people, instead of just worrying about what engine they're using, they need to like go out and like, hey, build this for us, and then we can use it in all our games or something like.
That's how SpeedTree is a thing. SpeedTree was a program I used in school where you could tell it to create a tree, and it would, you like, well, I want to branch here, I want to branch here. This is the type of tree I want. Make a forest, and it would be like, got it, and it would just like generate a forest out of like, it would randomly change the things you picked up, and it would like use like very minimal resources. Like they figured out a way to kind of like spawn everything. Now SpeedTree is in like any open world game. I saw SpeedTree was used in like the Final Fantasy games. Like they're just using that. So people aren't even like spending a lot of time like making like areas anymore. So maybe put that time to, somewhere else.
Animations did like, but when I see damage, I would want more. We're really starting to babble this. I know we're supposed to talk about genres, but more than like, oh, you get shot in the arm, changes the texture. I would also like it to change the AI, where they do this in Ninja Gaiden. Like if an enemy gets his arm chopped off, he like acts completely differently. And again, that's 2004 was. They did Ninja Gaiden 2, which I don't know when that came out, 2006 or 7. But I like something different happens. Like not only a change in behavior, but like you said, like now his arm's dangling, it's not even usable or whatever. Like those kind of gameplay changes are what I really want to see from the video game industry as a whole. Yeah, because it should have gone there already. Like I don't want to say it makes it more realistic, but it gives extra avenues for like gameplay options that just don't get explored. Everyone's a bullet sponge.
Yeah, and then don't just put it in there for just because. Like make it a point about it or something.
Yeah, make it do something. Like
I guess it's up to us. We'll just do it.
Okay, well, I need to begin learning my C++ or whatever. I don't even know what
I mean, okay, so like Unreal, like yeah, you can use like and if you want to get technical, it's C++.
Oh, it's not C++?
Well, so when you put plus plus, it adds 1 to whatever the number is, right?
Oh, okay.
So when they came out with C plus, it was like, oh, it's the next version of C, and then the plus plus was just adding 1 more to it. And then when I learned that, I giggled to myself.
Freaking nerds.
Yeah. Okay. And I was like, did you guys know? And it's like, this is why you don't have friends. Like, oh yeah, I figured. Game development, easy. You just have to sink all of your time and effort and your sanity into it and just make whatever you want.
Well, man, I didn't realize the buy-in was so low.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds great.
Yeah. Perfect. Done.
Yeah.
What other genres are there?
Well, there's kind of like the miscellaneous genre-less games, I would say, because just to mention, I have a PS1, like the little mini one, but it doesn't even open up or anything. Like it just comes installed with all these games. And one of them was this game called IQ that was a puzzle game.
Yeah. I have IQ.
You know it? And where the blocks fall on the guy?
Yeah, Brennan and Christina were playing it, and they were like, what are you supposed to do? And I was like, I'll show you IQ. And then they were like, this is dumb. And I'm like, yeah, no, if you're dumb.
It was so fun. Why I am dumb. I don't get very far, and I just keep repeating and trying the same thing. But like games like that, the games like I would include Catherine in that like genre-less game. Like you like pull out these blocks and you got to climb. Like it's a weird one.
That game is it's almost KFC dating sim level.
Yeah,
like if you're mixing weird genres together.
Yes, for sure. I didn't get that far in it, so I don't even know how it ends. But it was definitely one of those weird ones. I think the guy was like in a dream because he was like moving out these blocks, but the Catherine lady was like all big behind like a giant. Like, I don't know how to even explain it.
Well,
but there's like, I guess those are technically both puzzle games, but out of all genres, puzzle games can be the hardest to actually. Like first person shooter RPG, they share some characteristics. A lot of times puzzle games just don't. Like just you solve something is the only thing that unites them.
My favorite puzzle game, I have two, but the top one is the Professor Layton series.
Was that the one where you'd use a physics engine, or you'd use like different physics things to make, like, I don't know how to explain it. Okay.
No, this one was like he's like a Sherlock Holmes type character.
Yeah.
He's just like really good at solving like things. But the puzzles are these like logic puzzles for kids, and I can't solve any of them. And so it's like, because it's purely a Japanese thing, because they teach like logic and all that stuff like really early, you know? So like you're walking by and this guy's like scratching his head and he's like holding two hamsters. And then like the puzzle is like, this guy has 4 hamsters. The mating rituals of hamsters is like these two will mate with this one. And so in 10 months, how many hamsters and what would the family tree look like in 1 year? And I'm like, what? Like, like I just started this game. What are you doing? And I'm just like, so now I got a piece of paper and I'm just like plotting out like, okay, so it takes 3 months for them to gestate, and then like, but they don't become an adult until like 5 months. So these two can make one, and now it's like been an hour and a half, and I haven't done anything in the game yet, you know. And I was just like,
did you get it right?
I don't even. I don't know. I don't know, because you could just back out of the puzzle and play the game like normal. And I was just like, okay. But I loved like trying to figure it out. Like I really like that.
Yeah.
So like the game is like 300 of those like types of puzzles. And I'm like, or like the Einstein puzzles where like you're given like a chart of like character, like people's names, and then like an item. And then it's like, well, who has what item? And then you have to like logically figure out like which character, like or like where they're seated, you know, like these two have to be sitting together. That guy doesn't like this guy, so he needs to sit like 3 seats away, and then you have to figure it out. And then if you don't get it right, you get less points, and then you get like a minimum amount of points if you get it wrong 3 times, but you still solve the puzzle. I like it. Not good at it. And then the second puzzle game, which I don't know if it's a puzzle, but it kind of is. It's Braid. Did you ever play Braid?
Oh no, I heard about it though. It's the game.
You're like a little guy.
Isn't it like kind of a 2D platformer?
It's almost a 2D platformer. You can rewind time, but every like kind of area you go to has like a little puzzle. Like, how do you solve the puzzle? And you could actually just go through the game and just like get to the end of the level, but you have to collect these puzzle pieces that you have to put the puzzle together, like, and whatever, to really get the game, like to really get to the next levels and everything. And the amount of thought that went into these puzzles is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like, because he never uses the same puzzle twice, right? And so there's one level where everything is stopped. If you move to the right, the level moves forward. And if you go to the left, the level moves backwards. So you have to get somewhere like on top, but the only way to get there is by, obviously going up and, zigzagging up. But you can't, because to get to like up here, you have to like kill an enemy and jump off of it up here. But as soon as you go left, the enemy comes back because
yeah.
And it's the only, and then like the next level is like a different puzzle with not that element in it anymore.
Oh,
so you're just like,
that actually sounds.
So you're just like, what? Like, and every world you go to introduces like a different mechanic, and it's just like the mind behind it baffles me, because I would be so frustrated trying to like do these levels. Like, it literally took days for me to solve like some puzzles, and then like I'll just be like laying in bed, just like, what if I tried going like this?
No.
And then like I'll look over.
This man is heading for a divorce.
Yeah. No, here's the thing. Christina loves it.
Oh yeah.
Loves it. So she will watch me play it like all the time because she loves puzzles. She is a puzzle player. She will play all sorts of puzzles, and she's a roguelike enjoyer. She loves roguelikes because
I never would have guessed that one.
I didn't either, but she liked like card games. So I was like, Slay the Spire. It's a card game. Like, you want to play that? And she's like, yep. And then she like took over the TV and was just like playing it. And I'm like, you can get it on your phone. She's like, oh, awesome.
Okay.
And she's just playing that all the time. Then Monster Train was like another one. She loves that. Genres.
Well, but no, I remember in the very beginning, I was like, don't you have to use like a physics thing to, it doesn't sound like this is what I was trying to get to, but do you remember the game, The Incredible Machine?
No.
It was actually an old school, I think it was on the Mac of all things when I was really young.
So
you'd have like a spring and you'd have to like, or you'd have just all these different like little contraptions and you'd have to put them all together to like get like a ball or a marble or something. I can't remember what it was exactly.
I want to say after school in middle school, we went to computer class.
Yes.
And Mr. was it Christopherson would play it.
Yes.
And
that was it.
That was the game. Yeah.
Yep. That's the one I'm talking about. But actually the best puzzle game of all time, Lemmings.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
And now that's another one of those weird ones where it's kind of almost hard to call out a puzzle game at first because it doesn't seem like it. But then you're like, no, it absolutely is a puzzle game. You got to use like these certain resources to make this goal happen. You got to figure out how to do that. So I would actually say my favorite puzzle game of all time is, there's probably better versions, but the one I specifically remember was Lemmings for the Super Nintendo.
Does Tetris count as a puzzle game?
Yeah, I guess it would. Yeah, Tetris does.
Here's what's great about Tetris. And I don't know if this works with anybody else, but it works with me. Not only can I play that game in my head, right? Just like I can pretend I'm playing Tetris. I will also still lose.
Okay.
Like I will like be like, oh, well, I misplaced that one. Oh, no, the blocks they're coming too fast. Oh my God. And I'll still lose. It's like when I have a nightmare or a boring dream, right? I've had a dream once where I woke up, got ready for school, went to school, and then I woke up.
Oh man.
And I'm like,
you the dumbest hug. I'm sorry.
And I woke up annoyed, right? Not because I've got to do all of that again, but I was like, I can think of anything in the universe. I can think of things that have never happened, never will happen, people, monsters, different like things. And somehow I picked what I'm going to be doing later. That's what my brain decided was going on. And I was like, what? Like my brain was like, are you mad at me? Like, why did you pick a mundane thing? I could have done anything else. And I was like, no, just get ready for school.
Well, that's what's so crazy. You say you could play Tetris in your head and still lose. If I play Tetris in my head, everything is a straight line all the time. I can't lose. It's, oh, look, it's a block this time. And then, but like, so
you got to expand your imagination.
You're having the most boring dreams and you're causing yourself to lose in mental Tetris, a game where you get to control every piece that drops.
You got to be fair. Okay, you can't just everything can't be perfect. You'll wake up from the Matrix if everything's too perfect, okay?
I'm already awake.
Not really. We might do a whole thing on the Matrix.
Yeah.
I mean, I can without anybody.
Yes. I know it's not technically a video game, but we could go on about the Matrix because this man was at one point the biggest Matrix fan there's ever been. He had all these theories. He was part of these communities online going on about like 01 is going to be, what was the name of the computer city?
It was 01. Yeah.
Yeah. That technically the whole Matrix was actually inside of a hard drive in 01 or something. I can't remember all these theories, but
my main theory, and I really wanted it to be true, but of course that would not have worked, was the we can't. It's gonna take too long.
Yeah. Okay,
It's-
and we're getting off topic from genres. So, any other genres that you would like to?
I think that's it.
discuss?
I think just there's RPGs, fighting games, KFC,
dating sims.
buckets, and that can mean a lot of things apparently in that game.
Yeah,
12
'cause
piece.
neither of us are big racing games guy. I did do a Gran Turismo for a little bit, and then RC Pro Am if we're going way back in the day, an Excite Bike.
Here's a question for you.
Huh.
Is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater a platformer?
No. Ooh, what actual genre is it? It doesn't feel like a platformer, but it doesn't feel like a sports game. But you do make point.
It's definitely not a sports game. There's no like you do
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tricks, but
Well,
That's-
I'm just thinking because back when it first came out, we were still calling them like extreme sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I guess maybe they still do, but yeah, it's not a sports game. It even has some RPG elements to it in the later
you
ones.
gotta increase your
but-
stats.
Yeah, you gotta increase your stats. God, is it a platformer though? Because you are jumping around.
You're jumping around, you're solving quests or puzzles or whatever. Do these things.
Is Tony Hawk Skater technically a platform RPG? Or an RPG platformer?
I don't know.
Wow. Okay. You that's
That's the thing online.
we need to like resurrect King Solomon and ask him that question because
Yeah.
that is going to take a wiser man than me. Because what genre is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater?
Sports platformer.
You just said it's not a sport.
But it's sports like
Sports like platformer, I guess. So.
like how I don't know. Spy Hunter is a sports like action game, right?
No.
You have the car. Am I
Yeah,
thinking of the right? Yeah. You shoot,
Oh
you
well,
shoot thing?
but no, it's not based on a sport. Even
That's
though
true.
that you're getting a high score and everything, it's not like you're competing against other people. What actually
Just-
made you just blow my mind?
Yeah.
Like you can, in a weird way, rationalize Spy Hunter as being kind of a sports game, just because
It's
you're
got
racing other cars. Like, even though you know what I mean, and you have a high score, you're trying to win. You are competing against other players that would also play on that arcade cabinet. So, my God, Spy Hunter, best sports game of all time.
Yeah, take that, Madden.
Yeah, Madden,
Idiots.
FIFA.
Dummies. Yeah, I guess we kind of sports. I guess. I mean, yeah, it's there.
Yeah,
I don't really.
I mean, I play sports games, but just like rare. Like, actually, no, I don't really play them. Like back in the day, King Griffey Jr.'s baseball was a big one.
Mhm.
Every now and then, I would play like a Tiger Woods game against someone. We played a lot of NBA Jam,
Yeah,
but like, yeah, I'm
I liked
actually,
NBA Jam.
yeah,
NBA Jam was good. Tournament Edition was my favorite of them all, just because I could create my own characters.
Well, I always like the ones where you could put in the thing, the like initials, and be like P Funk or someone.
Mhm. Bill Clinton
Yeah,
just doing tomahawk dunks.
that's what you need. And then, of course, there's one, if you put in like MJ or something like that, it wouldn't show his picture, but it would give you like a MJ replica on the Chicago Bulls. And I
Mhm.
guess they had to remove that edition because of copyright. 'Cause even though it didn't say Michael Jordan, like it was very clearly who it was supposed to be.
Probably because of the MJ, because I think that may have been part of it as
Well,
well.
I don't know if that was specifically how you unlock,
I'm gonna say it was.
but no,
Canon.
there was some kind of they tried to sneak Michael Jordan into the game via some kind of initial thing, and it didn't work.
Why not?
That's what I heard.
Yeah, just let him do it.
Yeah, they should have.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares about paying royalties? What are royalties really?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and I'm trying to think of it, but I think that's my opinion on all major genres.
Yeah.
Well, fishing sims. I've played a lot of Nier Automata, and I believe that throwing out a robot into the ocean and coming back with some kind of like mutated fish and the like. I think that's a fishing sim.
I cannot argue. I don't know enough about fishing sims to counterpoint it. So I have to take what you're telling me
Yeah. Okay.
as fact.
Well, then it's a fact. You need to try out the best fishing sim of all time, Near Automata.
Okay. I guess I will. Not like Bass Pro Fishing.
No, why do that when you can be 2B? Because like after you're done fishing, you can go slice up robots.
No.
Can you do that in Bash Pro Fishing?
I again, I don't know enough about the game.
Oh, well,
Maybe
little known
it's in there.
fact. Well, I can just tell this guy anything. Little known fact, actually, 2B makes an appearance in Bass Pro Fishing.
Oh, is that the
And-
B? Is that what the B stands
Yes,
for?
that is 2 Bass. Yep.
Okay.
She's big into fish, and after you're done fishing in Bass Pro Fishing, you can also go out and slice up robots.
Interesting. That's probably what's what.
Yeah, you should go buy it. Download it Steam right now.
All right, hold on. Let me just hand in my credit card.
You're welcome
Done.
for the sale, whoever the developer of Bass Pro Fishing is.
Awesome. Well, I think that wraps up
Yeah.
our episode for today. Bass
Yes.
Pro Fishing.
Bass Pro Fishing. Remember, everyone, 2B from Near Automata is a guest character in Bass Pro Fishing. And whenever you're tired of doing the fishing sim, you can go out and you can slice up robots with her. So
Awesome.
buy the game now. But
You can't tell. You're not. Buy it from who?
buy it from your local retailer or an online credible marketplace.
What if they're not credible?
You know what? I would just roll the dice and see what happens.
Okay. Roll them.
How long did it stay?
You're ruining it.